Hello and welcome to another documentary vacation film to our old home country, which is Austria. On this trip our main target was to bring back pictures from the old glorious days of the monarchy. This was a formal greeting from the clock tower in Graz. Architectural trends and highlights, artwork from the past, and whatever is left over from the medieval old inner cities of Austria. So, be prepared for a little history lesson. Seeing churches and old castles, palatial buildings stuffed with artwork, vibrant old inner city filled with modern daily life. After all, tourism is the major industry in Austria and history keeps it up. Of course, we don't forget friends and family. Are always happy to see them. Their knowledge guided us through the streets and they provided all the information for this film. This castle represents the 16th century. Our introduction is over and pretty soon we will board our plane in Vancouver, British Columbia. This bronze statue, a centerpiece of native art, was created by the world-renowned Haida artist Bill Reed. It is a permanent exhibit at the airport. The departure date is beginning of July 2007. The very next day we started our sightseeing tour through Vienna. November 12, 1918 was the beginning of the First Republic of Austria, being a monarchy before that, and those three men were instrumental in the creation of the First Republic. Their names were Jakob Reumann, Viktor Adler and Ferdinand Hanusch. A lot of traffic noise behind us. We are heading for the inner city. In a few words, it means all people are free and have the same rights and should live peacefully together. In 1813, Mr. Hansen was born. One of the founding members. But Dr. Karl Renner was president when I went to school. The City Hall of Vienna, classic Gothic in style, and the architectural landscape rivals the musical history of Vienna in every way. The towers of the City Hall follow me into the inner city park where we are planning a rest period. We are closing into one of the main events, the Hofburg, from where a lot of those horse-drawn carriages start their sightseeing tours. The Hofburg, constructed in the year 1660, this is the place where the horse-drawn carriages line up. a hero's place. In the background, the building of a library. Are masterpieces from the past, statues of important people all over the place.
Portray ironworks in Mittelgebirge.
Next we will see some excavation from Roman times. From that you can see that the new city was built over the old one. This discovery was made by accident while working for the underground railway. As described, the oldest parts are from the 13th century, but the church was remodeled many times, which is the norm for all old buildings or castles. Rebuilding can stretch over centuries.
I always marvel over the artistic craftwork in these churches. Just creations of wonder.
Ja.
The whole of Europe feels global warming, and today is no exception. It's pretty warm, about 35. There are so many people around here, and for the time being I've lost my guides. I believe this is Karlskirche. A stylish Baroque building. The famous St. Stephen's Cathedral, original in Roman and then later in Gothic style rebuilt. Right now air pollution is its biggest problem. It eats away the outer coating. Heavily damaged in the Second World War, it is basically in a constant state of repair ever since, and restoration will continue for many more years. Inside they have sometimes concerts.
Those white stripes improve the acoustic. Here I'm mainly interested in the reflection of the windows and also what goes on top of those buildings. A lot of people miss those views. We are taking the underground railway to head for the outside of the city.
A cool breeze off the water made it very pleasant indeed.
A lot better than downtown. A good idea for an enjoyable afternoon.
In the background, office and apartment high-rises, as well as the UN city.
Enjoying a relaxing day at the shores of the Danube River.
are getting a glimpse of some white swans flying by. Water sport and cruises on the river have tremendously taken off. I think the tour boats are especially low built because they have to pass under so many bridges. Cruises from Germany to Hungary are very popular.
All the cruise ships have to clear those low bridges.
If I remember correctly, this is the Russian church. This is it for the day, and tomorrow we will visit the remainder of the Habsburg monarchy at Schönbrunn.
Yes, it is correct, the Russian church.
Here we are at Schönbrunn, the last seat of the Emperor of Austria. Built in 1744 after plans from Fischer von Erlach, but toned down considerable during the building because it was either too expensive or too pompous for the builder. We are concentrating our picture taking for the whole layout from the outside because the rooms are filled with too many people.
A beautiful grand layout for a whole day of visiting.
Up front a water fountain, and in the background the Belvedere.
Right now you just hear the fountain.
From top of the hillside, a beautiful overlook over the whole area. For the next little while, the city of Graz will be our home base. Today we want to discover the inner city of Graz. A recent addition to this attraction is this floating island. We simply walk over it and direct our feet to the older sections of the town. The church represents the entrance to the old town. Somebody's learning how to play the organ.
In every church I admire the stained glass windows.
Nowadays, classic organ playing shares its time with modern music. Austria is a Roman Catholic dominion.
And we are back in the center of town.
The city hall from two perspectives.
Unserer schönen Heimat, die gibt es nirgends auf der weiten Welt.
The mountain in the middle of town is called
Der Schlossberg,
originally the center of town with heavy fortification.
Macht uns das froh, viel mehr als Gut und Geld.
Now it is a major tourist attraction with one of the best views over the city. The tower is the symbol of the city, built in the 13th century.
Spazieren gehen, uns grüßen Sonne und der blaue Himmel und am Waldrand ein scheues Reh. Das ist die Welt, der unsere Liebe gilt, die uns mit Freude und mit Stolz erfüllt. Hier ist es friedlich, hier ist es still. Die Heimat schenkt uns Liebe und Gefühl.
Okay. They're actually beautiful. Off an angle there's the street. They're not parallel.
The funny looking roof hosts a new museum. next day we get a taste of modern art. The Kobuskirche in Dahl bei Graz, mosaic work, bright colors and display of different lights are a trademark of Professor Ernst Fuchs, whose design we will get to know on other buildings. At the moment there's nobody inside the church, so I will take time to go inside and photograph it with nobody in there. Outside there are some festive activities going on and I'm hearing the music coming in from the outside. I am getting curious what goes on outside and will finish my photography in here. I had no idea that Arnold Schwarzenegger is an honorary citizen of this little village. Well, he's come a long way. The governor of California is a pretty powerful man.
What that means, Arnold Schwarzenegger grew up in the same place than I did. What a coincidence and what a different outcome.
Galaxy.
I'm showing off interested places that only local people know. Bringing back the way we were. An old fortification wall. Hidden treasures my relatives know.
On this particular day we decided to make a family outing to a popular castle in the southern part of Styria. Besides the Roman walls in the castle, it also offers modern amenities like restaurant, swimming pool. A tour guide explains the Roman wall. Those Roman plaques, the Renaissance courtyard and the clock tower are the highlights of this castle.
The Roman numerals are 1831.
Thick walls, beautiful arcade walkways, and the old Peldau is coming up soon.
Just a usual countryside.
At the foot of the hill, the town Leibniz. The official flag of Styria, and looking back to the buildings of the old castle.
Looking back where we have been, a cool place for a glass of beer.
Our next target is the marketplace in the city of Leibniz, which has a beautiful city hall built in 1914, not so old but still a masterpiece of old craft. It is typical for a local small city.
From the countryside to the noisy city life. Europeans are forced to do a lot of walking in those narrow streets.
This place represents a personal highlight for us. It was the place where we got married almost 40 years ago, and still together, only better. A little less hair with a couple of pounds to spare. It's been a great life for me and my wife.
Picture taken in 2008.
Built in 1891 by Bishop Werger, the church has since required a few restoration works, but looks now as new as ever. And we hope those bells keep on ringing for future generations.
Walking is still a major part of transportation.
This place was founded 1806 with a musical play on top of the roof, but the time is not right and we will come back when it's playing.
You have to be a good driver around here.
Some parts of this house originate from 1697. Long ago I went to classes here. Entrance to the old palace.
The old fortification wall from the 16th century in pristine shape.
The old palace has many courtyards and still houses a lot of government offices, just like in the old days, and it is a cool place to wander through, stretching out your tired feet under a shady tree. Let the world run by. The entrance to the cathedral. The cathedral was built in 1438 by Frederick III. Again, a practicing organ player. That was enough for one day, because the next soon came our way. Now we have seen and heard the musical in actions, but unfortunately the sound was not very good because too many people were speaking. Rarely seen by visitors, this jewel of the Gothic building style sits on top of a hill overlooking a valley. Built in the 14th century, the steeple has no practical use, is only for show or ornamentation. Later on, when inside in the church, we were lucky to observe the baptism of a child. I'm always concerned to capture the true sound of the action. On Sundays, this is very easy done.
On Sundays, the church bell ring for prayer time.
Die ersten Schlüsselblumen blühen, macht uns das froh, viel mehr als Gut und Geld. Uns grüßen Gräser.
For the following day we had lined up a visit to the castle of Herberstein. The building started in the early 13th century, but dragged on over more than 400 years afterwards. It is the only castle in the area that had not been conquered by foreign troops and can only be seen by joining a guided tour. Another attraction associated with the castle is the zoo. Going to both attractions would mean an excellent daily outing.
Again, mainly a highlight for the locals.
Die uns mit Freude und mit Stolz erfüllt.
We are heading towards the inner courtyard for the assembly of the guided tour, which lasts approximately 2 hours. Photography was not possible because the rooms were all too dark, flashlights not permitted.
Der weiten Welt, die gibt es hier nur hier in uns. die Heimat schenkt uns Liebe und Gefühl.
Surprising modern artwork has found a place surrounded by old walls.
Die gibt es nirgends auf der ganzen Welt. Die gibt es hier nur, hier in unserer Heimat. In unserer Heimat, die uns so gefällt.
And the classic Gothic church.
The interior decorations of these churches, the paintings, the art treasures, the frescoes, the building style are irreplaceable works of art from our past, yet remarkably maintained to its full glory.
The area we're in is dominated by rural farmers. Nevertheless, there are hidden treasures all around, and a local person as a guide is a treasure by itself. Besides some of the major tourist attractions we had seen on earlier trips. So most of the stuff we have seen was new to us.
We are catching up with local culture we didn't have time for to look at when we lived here. But now we appreciate even much more.
A short distance away from the church is the home of the world-renowned white Libizzaner horses.
The dark spots come from rolling in the sand.
Zeigen zu können, wie die Pferde gehalten werden. Das ist ein Laufstall, das ist ein kleiner Laufstall. Ja. Die anderen Laufstallungen sind natürlich wesentlich größer, da sind 30 Wechsel. Werden die zum Teil schon grau, bei den Ohren werden die Fohlen schon grau.
I had no idea the young ones are born black.
Forellenschimmel, der hat so rotbraune Fohlen. Das ist ein Forellenschimmel und zwar wir unterscheiden beim Libizzaner 4 Schimmelarten. Und zwar der Forellenschimmel, dann gibt es den Fliegenschimmel, Milchschimmel und ist eben die Gefahr. Das ist eben der Nachteil dabei. Der Färbung kann dann dauern, natürlich bei den Pferden.
Am Kopf.
We are about to leave the province of Styria, crossing over to the province of Carinthia. Hoch Osterwitz is one of the best maintained castles in all of Austria. Built in the 16th century, it is still in excellent condition and the pride of Carinthia. The lakes are pretty warm here and are excellent for swimming and other water sports.
Was die werden vorlesen. Ein Manns Red ist eine halbe Red. Man soll sie verhören bet. Eins Manns Red ist eine halbe Red. Und dann gehen wir schnell rein, weil er und die Figuren an den Wandwänden, das ist die italienische Graffiti. Das ist eine Technik, wo
Again, we're moving off the beaten track and experience artwork that mostly only locals see. And this is how the city looked in 1649. Now we're taking a walking tour and looking at it in the year of 2007, taking note what changes have happened.
Das ist der Fitus, das ist unser Stadtheilige, von dem haben wir den Namen.
Ja, ausgeführt, danke.
Walter von der Vogelweide.
A famous poet in the German history.
A look of the city in 1727 and the present leftover.
Der 6. war so die Hauptstadt von Bern. Und damals ist der Adel protestantisch geworden und der Kaiser ist dort bestraft und hat Schlagstadt gegründet. Und damit ist die Stadt verkommen, weil dann ist der Adel nicht war, dann war der Geldgeber.
The old fortification wall from the 16th century.
Die Postgassen.
This particular type of entrance I have noticed on quite a few churches. On the outside some Roman memorial plates. A nice floral garden next to the old Roman walls.
A nice place to reflect on the old fortification walls.
Here you will recognize the same artistic designer than earlier on the church.
We are carrying on with our road tour.
Our brother-in-law drives us to another hidden treasure in this area, his favorite castle in the area. This is it, Frauenstein, normally not accessible to the public, But again, we got lucky meeting the owners, and they invited us in, giving us a historic background and some neat little details about living in the castle. Origin was the 12th century, but totally rebuilt in the 15th, always in private possession, which means nobility. So we feel privileged putting our feet on noble grounds. I concentrate mainly on picture taking, while my relatives listen to the stories of the owner. One neat detail was the early entrance to the castle. There used to be a small hall in the outside wall where a person crept in, a rope would tangle down from the first floor, the person would hang on to the rope, which was being pulled up by two guys. If they didn't like the face of their visitors, they just let go. Since then you will see they made two alterations to the entrance, a big door and a small one.
Walter, du darfst reinschauen.
Okay, ich komme sofort.
Okay, genau.
Ja, am Freitag.
Schon. Am diesem Freitag schon. Ja,
Diesen Freitag.
wirklich schönes Wetter.
Ja, da ist man besser.
Das ist das Wappen von seiner Zeit, aber du hast ein Haus nicht renoviert.
Supposedly the face of the builder. Renovating the castle must swallow up huge sums of money. I suspect governments are handing out liberal grants because all is done in the name of tourism. When all the work is finished, there will be days where they open up for the public. I am happy shooting a preview away from the crowds. Und jetzt noch eine kleine Bewegung, auf und nieder. Super. We even got to swing an ancient sword. It was pretty heavy. Another castle in the middle of town. We noticed 3 nameplates at the entrance. There is still some restoring to do in this place, but most of it has also been done. Hunting trophies all over the place. The water buffalo surely not local. And also the coat of arms of former nobility. This place had many owners. Again, we were very lucky to do a private castle. In this part of the country, castles will follow you around. You just can't escape. But take heart, this will be our last one in this film. Well, let's sprint to the end. This was the former seat of a bishop, and at that time the clergy wielded a lot of political power. The arcades were added in 1680, but the origin of the castle is in the 12th century. Like all the others, alterations are an ongoing business. Off the beaten track, there are hundreds of important historic locations which only locals will see. That is all that's left from the original walls some 800 years ago.
When have you seen that last?
There is light at the end of the tunnel. We are approaching the end of our history lesson by visiting our last church, the twin towers of the Cathedral of Brugg. Again, a major concentration point of the power of the clergy, wielding influence far beyond its border. The underground catacombs and basement walls from Roman times, so about 12th century. Then everything changed to Gothic style. The Holy Hammer of Brugg is regarded as the protector of the land and will bless you with many children. So the script goes.
Renaissance. Das ist also ein Übergang von der Gotik zum Barock. Und wir werden da oben beim Wickeln sehen, ist eine reine gotische Kultur. Sind da mehrere Kirchen von ihr gegründet und finanziert worden. Von der Einmasse in der Größe auf das Parlament.
The great Napoleon Bonaparte wanted to haul away this figurine made out of lead, but he did not succeed and left it there. Wir gehen jetzt runter ins Kellergewölbe zu den Katakomben. Down here in the catacombs are the oldest part of the church, dated between 1000 and 1200, mostly closed off to the public to preserve the artifacts, but in the winter months they do have occasional masses down here, because the temperature is always constant. In summertime cool and in the winter months warm. The very next day, sunshine greets us at Lake Ossiach. The last few minutes will look more like vacation and also doing justice to the beautiful scenery. Boy, oh boy, even now those castles stick to my viewfinder.
Sometimes just ruins are left over.
Carinthia was always regarded as a vacational stream, with warm lakes attracting you in summer and in winter tons of snow on the mountains. Learning how to ski on water. Whoops. Looks more like a diving event.
This is how it's done.
Now comes one of those unplanned things. This was the only place we could find a parking spot for a car. Looking up, we realized we are at the foot of a gondola, and reading the advertising, we decided to go up. It is a pretty long haul on foot.
The higher we ride up, the worse the weather gets. It's even more foggy than we expected.
Reaching the top station, we were pretty disappointed to notice the weather is completely different to the bottom. It was sunny down there. Up here it's cloudy, foggy. This guy gave us a neat demonstration of how it's done. Windsurfing. Impressive how they trust the wind and the parachute to take him down safely. I can't imagine what the view is like from his seat, but in my mind I'm cruising down with my camera and checking out the panorama. But in reality I prefer to go down with the gondola. This brings us to the end of the first part of our presentation. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye, au revoir und auf Wiedersehen.
I can't forget the guy in the sky. Look at him. And I'm still sitting in the gondola, waiting for the end.